want to close their eyes for just a minute. So can we have our eyes closed? Okay, so that we are on the same page. Okay, I want you to imagine that you have just completed your boards and got your boards results, and you have applied for a college, and then you are going to a college, and you have spent 30 days in the college now, and most of you you are having a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and few are very shy, so they are just thinking of a method or an approach to talk to that girl. So in that mentality, being first year and you have just spent 30-20 days in college, so I would like you to open your eyes. So when I was in college, I was very thin, and I had a very big ego. I wouldn't approach any girl, but I wanted the girl to approach me. And this I used to tell myself, but the actual fact was I was very shy. As a kid also I was very shy. So what I had to come up with something. So I started sketching. So I started sketching girls in my college, and whenever I wanted to send any friend request, I would just sketch the girl and send her in her inbox a sketch, and she would just accept it, and we would go on a date or something. And later what happened, I on Facebook I met a girl, and she was like Madhuri Dixit, and I felt like MF Hussain, so I used to sketch her very often. So I used to sketch very badly initially, but still she used to encourage me that your drawings are really good and you should continue it. So what I started doing was I started taking help from YouTube, and I started watching different videos how to sketch and different charcoal, pencil techniques, and I used to implement it in my drawings. So soon I became expert in that, and I used to send more friend requests to different girls, and that girl didn't know that I was flirting with other girls too. And so a very serious hobby developed, and I used to lock myself in the room, and I would just sketch, and it became very intense for me. So later what happened, my girlfriend used to tease, ex-girlfriend used to tease me a lot that I'm a very thin guy and I should eat chocolates, lots of chocolates. But that used to be very heavy on my pockets. So what I started was, my friends were really interested that can I sketch their girlfriend. So I started my own barter system. I told them I can make a sketch of your girlfriend or your crush. In return, I want a chocolate. So they used to give me dairy milk silk, and my cupboard used to be full of chocolates. So I used to really enjoy that moment. And so then finally, when I ended up in 4th year, things started becoming very serious. So I needed to apply for different companies and give interviews. I started doing that, and when I was in 2nd year, I had a fight with my father that I want to be an artist, but he said that it's too late and artist life is very tough, and he emphasized that his father was he struggled a lot, and I cannot lead that life, and it's very difficult for a boy, a guy we are facing this that girls doesn't marry anyone जिसकी salary इतनी अच्छी नहीं है. तो पापा ने वैसे समझाया तो मैं मान भी गया, अच्छा ठीक है मैं इंजीनियरिंग कंटिन्यू कर देता हूँ. तो फिर क्या हुआ, I started sketching and used to take chocolates, and उसके बाद मैंने TCS में apply किया and I got selected, and over there also I showed my sketches. Like in the morning, the first question they ask is कि आपको क्या अच्छा लगता है and what do you want to tell about yourself. मेरा पूरा रेज्यूमे में पूरा सिर्फ मेरे हॉबीज़ के बारे में लिखा रहता था कि मैंने स्केचेस किए, मैंने स्टोन कार्विंग किया, मैंने ये किया वो किया. They were really interested and they asked me about it, and later after the interview they saw my sketches and they were pretty impressed. My thesis joining was pretty late, so before that I got a call from my senior. He had started his own startup, But as I used to lock myself in the room, I didn't know that a startup has started in my college. And the funny part is, the way he knew me, got to know about me was, his girlfriend was in my class, and he wanted a sketch, so he called me up. So, and after that, he gave me a task. Don't join TCS, join our company, join as a graphic designer. So I was really happy at that moment, but again, I had to face my father. My father told that you don't have any prior education in that, so you can't do it. But still, I said that I can go there for 4 months. So I went there for 4 months and made the sketches. So I'll show. So these are my muses, and the colored one is my German friend, and she doesn't know how to speak in English, but we still chat using Google Translator. So she wants to be a model, and I was telling her that don't give up your dream, become a model. Do your studies, but after school, please join modeling class. After college, do modeling. And I went there, I joined. After 4 months, my parents said that you have to come back, so I came back. And I had to join TCS. So I joined TCS. I was very serious about my work. I have done my graduation in computer science, so I joined an enhancement project for UI designing, and I was pretty much liking my job. But at the same time, I was sketching also. So with sketching, as my sketching skills improved, people started asking me if I can make their sketches, family portraits. So what I did next was I built my own website, and using my computer science skills, and I plugged in different payment methods, and I started my own business, small business, to make sketches. And so I was earning through TCS sketches. Then again, my friend called me up. He has his father business where he would design products and cut wood in different shapes. So he asked me if a pub is really interested in Lego. So this is again one of my sketches of Kate Winslet. This is the wall that I had created for the startup company, and this was the first time I had used Photoshop. So I used to work for 80 hours a day to learn that software, different things, and I hand sketched this, and then I scanned it in a high resolution camera, and then I did Photoshop on it. And like Tanya said that initially there are many rejections. After 100 rejections, this got selected, and this is displayed on a 18 by 9 feet wall. So as my friend said to join his business, so I made this. Does anyone know Porthole Infuser? It's a European product to make cocktails. So I designed this in art camp, and I went to different places to get this done. And finally, I did powder coating and sold it with my friend in partnership. And this was my second thing. This is a Lego concept elephant to hold mocktail glasses. This is I have put there 12 centimeter glass, but this is meant for 16 to 20 centimeter mocktail glasses. So life was pretty cool. I was earning through 3 different places, so I used to party a lot, but work was also there. I used to come home very late, party a lot, girlfriends and all this. So after 1 month, a very sad thing happened. I felt really sick, and my mother noted that my BP had rose very high, and so I started taking a medicine for blood pressure. The doctor just gave me few sleeping pills, and he said that everything will be fine. My mother was so worried, she gave me extra dose of sleeping pills, so I slept for 2 days continuous. Again, she was sure what's happening. So when I woke up after 2 days, I was really happy, and then and there I needed to make a decision that should I continue sketching or should I continue TCS. So as I was earning equal amount as of TCS, so I'm sorry if the sketch is coming bad. As I was earning the same amount, so I decided to drop TCS, and it was a very hard decision for me because I had always taken decisions with my mother or my father. So I resigned and I didn't tell my parents about it. So the girl I'm drawing right now, she's an inspiration for stone carving. I've just started stone carving and making sculptures. So I talk to her a lot, and she sits for me, and we watch movie together, and then I sculpt her during that process. So so I resigned, and after I had resigned, I had to think what I have to do next. So what I did was, like Steve Jobs said, that you can only connect dots of the past and not the future. So I started thinking about my past. When I was really small, I was a very shy kid, and again very less talkative. So what I used to do is, I didn't get admitted to any nursery school, and my parents were really tense that this boy is not talking at all during the interview process. So my mother told in one school that he's a very great craftsman, and he can craft something if he can craft something. So they gave me clay, and I made Gandhiji using that clay, and I was admitted to that school. So again, after that, what happened? Our financial status was low. My father didn't earn that much that time. So what my mother used to do, she used to tell me my grandfather's stories, and she would go to my friend's place. She would just trace all the drawing copies, the drawing pages, and she would come back again and retrace it, and I would color that. So my Mausi, my aunt, she is a student of my grandfather. So she and I used to do crafts a lot, and I used to study my grandfather's sketches since childhood. So I wanted to know how he used to feel. Like my father used to tell me that you cannot become an artist, but he was an artist. He was a fine arts professor, and he used to teach in university. So I never met him because he passed away 1 month before I was born. So I wanted to know his feeling, how he used to feel when he used to draw people and get all the attention. So what I started was, after completing my school, when I entered college, it's like my life, my rules, my gamla, my fools. You can literally do anything. So I started sketching. So where was I? Just a second. Yeah. So my mother used to sketch that. So when I came to class 6, there was a teacher. She would just take 50 rupees from us, and she would provide us all the drawing materials, all the crayons, and that was the time when I was really amazed that there are so many papers and color papers, crayons in just one place. So I was really happy, and one day what she did was, she took my drawings and she submitted in Camlin All India competition, and to my surprise I got the first prize, and she surprised me. So that is how that was the first time I thought I can really become an artist, and I carried that with me. So as I grew up, again I continued sketching, and I find pretty girls my inspiration, and sometimes common people also. So I just want to tell you guys that get inspired by common people, get inspired by your teachers. And my mother used to tell me that they are good and bad to everyone. So you need to connect with the good side. So I used to hang out with different kinds of people, chill with them, and in the end, art is all that mattered to me. So this I'm drawing a portrait of my grandfather. So he wanted to become an actor, but again, same story. There, his father had told that you cannot become an actor because life is very tough, and
again those things. But he used to pose a lot. So I saw his sketches and his portraits. So he used to pose a lot. So that also really inspired me. And whenever he used to sketch, when he used to sketch female version, a view of my bua used to come up. So I really wanted to know how he actually did that. So my father said that he used to sketch a lot, and maybe he takes care of the whole family. So maybe that's why it comes up. So I wanted to get into that feeling. So with that, I want to conclude by saying that now I'm working in a company, again that startup, and my guide is my senior, and he has told me that there's life beyond impressing girls and not only sketching. So under his guidance, I'm discovering myself. I've made different
things. I've in a web series. I've been a art director. So I have created all the scenes and small cars and craft things. And also I developed logos for the company, and which is the very first thing they asked me to do when I joined. In the initial 4 months, but it is a very big task. You are asking someone who doesn't know your company to make their logo. So they told me to come aboard, and 2 months I stayed there. I understood their culture, and I learned Photoshop, Illustrator, different drawing techniques, and you follow different logo pages. And then I designed their logo after 4 months, because it was very first time I was designing a logo. So I want to just tell you that discover yourself. Don't leave your hobbies behind, because it can turn into your passion, and later can turn into your career also. And if you're working hard, it can turn into your enterprise, your own company. So in our company, we are initiators. Everyone is an initiator. So my seniors asked me to start a page. So I've started a page where I post all my crafty things. I've stopped flirting with girls, but I used to do it through my crafts. So I make DIY videos, and all those videos are dedicated to all my friends I used to make in the past. So that's all. So never leave your passion, and that can turn into your career. And so each day will not be a work for you, and you will love working throughout the day, throughout the night. And one more thing, this is nail art. I've started this. There's an artist who has recently joined, not joined. He comes to video feed often, and he does nail art. He has patented it. So to honor him, I'm making this after TEDx. Maybe 1 month later, when this video will be posted, by then I'll be finished with this. So keep discovering yourself, and don't hold back. Like I heard in many questions that if I'm starting something, I sometimes stop. People stop at some point, and they don't find anything interesting. So my sister told me that you need not stick to one thing. If I would have just stuck to sketching, charcoal and pencil, I wouldn't have gone so far. I was doing crafts, pencil sketching, different things. I was trying different things. So try different things and be inspired by comedy. Thank you.